Established in 1942, the Science Talent Search is the nation's oldest and most highly regarded science competition for high school seniors. Since then, nearly 150,000 students have applied, 24,000 have been named scholars, and almost 3,000 have traveled to Washington, D.C. Past competitors have been awarded more than $29 million and some very prestigious prizes. The 40 finalists are the scientific and engineering leaders of tomorrow. They'll shape the future and invent the world our children will live in.
Welcome to this very special evening, the awards ceremony for the 80th Annual Regeneron Science Talent Search. I'm Kristen Pierce, and it is my honor to host this evening's program. The 40 finalists of this year's Regeneron Science Talent Search are all remotely located and joining us by video here tonight. Each finalist is wearing their Regeneron STS medal, signifying their membership in this elite corps of young scientists. Over the past 80 years, STS alumni have gone on to great success and have made significant impacts on the scientific community. This year's class will be no exception. They have had to adapt their research and do their projects at home amidst a global pandemic. Their continued motivation showcases the hope and inspiration that STS finalists bring to our world. It is my pleasure to be joined by these incredible finalists, their families, and all of you at home. This evening, we will hear from Maya Ajmera, President and CEO of Society for Science and publisher of Science News. Prior to leading the society, she founded and led the Global Fund for Children, a group serving the world's most vulnerable youth. Maya is also an award-winning children's book author, has held several academic appointments, and is herself an alumna of the 1985 Science Talent Search. We'll also hear from another STS alumnus, Dr. George Yancopoulos, Regeneron's co-founder, president, and chief scientific officer. A member of the National Academy of Sciences, George, along with key members of his team, is the principal inventor of Regeneron's 9 FDA-approved drugs and foundational technologies. He has been pivotal in creating the science-driven culture at Regeneron, earning the company widespread recognition. You can learn more about these speakers and all of our finalists by clicking on the biographies in the panel adjacent to the video in our virtual event platform. Now, as many of you know, Regeneron STS is the nation's oldest and most prestigious science competition for high school seniors. This program identifies, engages, and inspires the next generation of scientific leaders. Thanks to the generous support of Regeneron, the Science Talent Search is rewarding more students and their teachers for taking on the challenge of bringing true scientific inquiry and engineering solutions to life through research by high school students. Tonight's finalists were selected from nearly 1,800 entrants based on the originality and creativity of their scientific research, as well as their achievements in leadership both inside and outside the classroom. Let's meet some of them now.
Hi, I'm Maliti Acharya from William Mason High School in Mason, Ohio.
Lalitia's first scientific experience was attempting to recreate the recipe for Coca-Cola. Since then, she has gone on to captain her school's science fair team and to found the Nereid Project, which aims to raise awareness of the water crisis through STEM research and advocacy.
My name is Akhilesh Balasingham. I go to Archbishop Mitty High School, and it's in San Jose, California.
Akhilesh is a licensed ham radio operator. He also plays the mridangam, the Indian classical drum, and enjoys oil painting in his spare time. He is the founder of the Mitty chapter of Curious, a nonprofit dedicated to bringing science to disadvantaged and under-resourced communities.
My name is Sarah Chen. I go to Phillips Academy in Andover, Massachusetts.
Sarah's advice to younger students interested in science research: don't feel daunted. If things feel overwhelming, she says, you can always lean on your love of learning. Sarah hopes to study computer science and creative writing in college.
My name is Yoonso Choi, and I go to Phillips Exeter Academy at Exeter, New Hampshire.
When Yunso's research required her to process math in new ways, she learned to follow questions for their significance, not the methods required to solve the problem. She plans to continue studying mathematics at Harvard University and dreams of a career as a theoretical economist.
My name is Sam Christian. I go to the Liberal Arts and Science Academy in Austin, Texas.
Sam enjoys hiking, science fiction, and spending time with his cats, Astro and Apollo. He credits his mentor with the thorough feedback and guidance that helped his research to excel, and states that finding a mentor is critical to science that produces results with real-world implications.
I'm Tali Finger, and I go to Dr. Michael Kropp Senior High in Miami, Florida.
Tali feared that moving to the United States from Brazil meant leaving research behind, but she persevered, making new connections and taking every possible chance. She advises younger researchers that it is never too soon to start. With enough passion, there is always a way.
My name is Jessie Gann, and I go to the San Diego Jewish Academy in San Diego, California.
Jessie's first experiment was testing how the evaporation of different liquids could keep foods, chocolate specifically, cool enough to prevent melting in the sun. She enjoys folding origami and building molecular model kits and hopes to study chemistry or biochemistry in college.
Hi, my name is Noah Getz. I go to the Bronx High School of Science in New York City, New York.
Noah believes that the widespread use of social media has amplified his generation's insecurities and would love to one day work in a lab that uses data science to combat misinformation or make suggestions for social policy. He is currently learning to play guitar.
Hi, my name is Gopal Krishna Goel. I go to Krishna Homeschool in Portland, Oregon.
During the pandemic, Gopal took up chess, and prior to more severe COVID restrictions, he continued to volunteer at a memory care unit by setting up a system where he could visit with residents through a window. In college, he hopes to study physics and math.
Hi, my name's Hannah Goldenberg, and I go to Greenwich High School in Greenwich, Connecticut.
Hannah enjoys skateboarding, making bead jewelry, and playing ice hockey. She hopes to be a physician or biomedical engineer and was voted most likely to cure COVID by her senior class. Hannah is excited to attend Northwestern University next year.
My name is Michael Gomez from Bergen County Academies in Hackensack, New Jersey.
On Michael's bucket list, backpacking through Europe, learning to surf, and hugging a redwood. When he imagines the future, he sees a constantly growing human being, but cautions today's youth not to be so concerned with the future that they forget to appreciate the present.
My name is Amy Guan, and I go to the Texas Academy of Mathematics and Sciences located in Denton, Texas.
New to computational chemistry, Amy had to tackle a steep learning curve, but some of her most stubborn molecules provided the most surprising insights. She advises students starting in research to take heart. Though it may seem daunting at first, it's all a learning process.
Hi, my name is Wenjun Ho. I go to Jesuit High School in Portland, Oregon.
During election night 2020, Wenjen ran a Wenjen news segment on social media, using his predictions to call states many hours ahead of major news networks. He enjoyed helping viewers understand civic concepts, and in the distant future, could even see himself running for office.
We will continue meeting all of our finalists in a moment, but first let's hear from President and CEO of Society for Science, Maya Ajmera.
Thank you, Kristen, and welcome to the 80th Annual Regeneron Science Talent Search. Albert Einstein once said, "In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity." The 40 young scientists, engineers, and mathematicians we are celebrating here tonight have found opportunity in the midst of difficulty. This year, I will be honest, we did not expect to have as many students apply to the Science Talent Search this year. In fact, we planned for very low numbers. It was the best kind of surprise to see that over 1,700 students applied, which is in line with numbers we would see within a year where we were not facing a pandemic. What differences did we see? This is what gets to the heart of what is so impressive. In past years, when you ask applicants where they conducted their search, many will share that they worked in a lab at their high school or nearby university or at a STEM summer or school program. This year, most of the students did their research at home, whether that meant setting up a home lab or using the computer equipment they had on hand to conduct their analysis. I could not be prouder of all the applicants of the Regeneron Science Talent Search this year. From that illustrious pool, we are celebrating the top 40 finalists and their teachers, family, and community that have supported them. The beginning of the pandemic, I'm sure that most of us saw the memes and stories about Isaac Newton and the fact that he discovered gravity while in quarantine. During times of crisis, ingenuity and perseverance abounds. You can see examples throughout history. It's not just Isaac Newton. The Napoleonic Wars led to the invention of the canning process. The French government wanted to preserve rations so that they could feed their troops all year round, and a local confectioner developed an airtight food preservation process. World War I brought us the zipper, synthetic rubber, and the world's first blood bank. In World War II, the world's first programmable electronic digital computer, Colossus Mark I, was created by the British to crack messages sent and received by German high command. That crisis also brought us the jet engine. We see this again and again. A crisis hits and people innovate. Look at the Cold War, which brought us the first artificial satellite and the microchip. The 2009 financial crisis led to the sharing economy. As many people were seeking new sources of income, the technology industry created a completely new marketplace, leading to companies ranging from ride sharing to house sharing. And of course, today, we are living through a crisis and seeing innovations all around us, whether it's vaccines and treatments for COVID, like the monoclonal antibody developed by Regeneron, distillers making hand sanitizers, or seeing improvements in telehealth technology. Think about the speed that vaccine was created. Whether it's the COVID-19 pandemic, the climate change crisis, or chronic disease, these amazing STEM students are stepping up to the plate and becoming involved in the world around them, and I couldn't be more impressed, inspired, and proud. Oscar Wilde wrote, "When it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars." The 40 Regeneron Science Talent Search finalists are the embodiment of this quote, pushing forward to solve some of our world's most serious problems. They aren't just looking for stars, they are shooting for them. I'd like to thank Regeneron for their incredible generosity in their support of these 40 students. Len Schleifer, George Yancopoulos, Hala Mirza, and team, we thank you for your generosity, your leadership, and your friendship. We are so grateful for all that you do to invest in the next generation of scientific and engineering talent. On behalf of the Society for Science Board of Trustees and our entire team, congratulations to the amazing 40 finalists, our future scientific leaders. Both the Society and Regeneron are eagerly looking forward to following your contributions and accomplishments in the years to come.
Thank you so much, Maya, and many thanks to the entire team at the Society for the dedicated support you provide to our nation's aspiring scientists. Over the years, STS alumni, such as Maya, have made extraordinary contributions to STEM fields and STEM education and have gone on to win many of the world's most coveted science and math honors. Tonight, we are pleased to share just a few of the inspirational messages these alumni have offered to STS finalists. Feng Zhang, STS class of 2000, says, "In science, you will have many eureka moments. Once you have one, you will yearn for another. That's really the joy of doing science." Dr. Zhang is most well known for his central role in the development of optogenetics and CRISPR technologies. From STS class of 1949, Walter Gilbert offered this thought to our finalists. You've generally been the one science nerd, but becoming one of the 40, you suddenly find there's a world of people who are your equals and kin. That's an inspiring part of this process. Dr. Gilbert is a pioneer in the field of molecular biology and a 1980 Nobel laureate. Also on the topic of inspiration, just 1 year ago, Helena Zhang, STS class of 2020, said, "As Regeneron STS finalists, we are some of the youngest pioneers at the forefront of scientific innovation and advancement. One of our most important jobs is stated on our navy blue STS shirts, be inspired." Helena was the 2020 Glenn T. Seaborg Award winner. Many, many thanks to these alumni and their support and words of wisdom. Now let's meet a few more of tonight's honored finalists.
My name is Jared Alon, and I attend Byram Hills High School in Armonk, New York.
Jared intends to pursue bioengineering at Cornell University and dreams of working at a cultured meat startup. Jared enjoys following New Harvest on social media, a cultured meat research institute that posts cool videos related to his research. They even followed him back.
Hi, my name is Vedant Iyer, and I go to Sunset High School in Portland, Oregon.
Vedant spent 2 years trying to get a research opportunity in an extremely competitive field, a period he spent teaching himself complex concepts like cone-sham orbitals and Slater determinants. Science takes dedication, time, and persistence, but Vedant believes having fun with it is just as important.
My name is Ishani Shah, and I'm from Lynbrook High School in San Jose, California.
Ishani enjoys writing, singing, and playing the sitar. She is also the founder and CEO of Aqua Universa LLC, a company that seeks to make her affordable water filtration device available across the globe. Ishani intends to major in chemical engineering.
Hi, my name is Marvin Lee, and I go to James and Bennett High School in Salisbury, Maryland.
Marvin is passionate about acting now to achieve climate justice and works with the international youth-led movement 0 Hour to highlight the impact of social and racial issues on environmental problems like pollution. He plans to study environmental science and policy.
My name is James Licato, and I go to Washington Liberty High School in Arlington, Virginia.
James is an avid fishing enthusiast and hopes one day to catch a fish in all 50 states. In fact, contemplating river pollution during his many trips to the Potomac is what inspired him to get involved in science research. James intends to major in chemistry.
My name is Andre Mandelstam, and I'm from University High School in Irvine, California.
Andre has collected around 150 shirts from various math competitions. True to mathematical fashion, he notes this would be enough to wear for almost half a year without ever wearing the same shirt twice. His other hobbies include rock climbing, singing, and baking for his family.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Monhe, and I go to Carmel High School in Carmel, New York.
Rebecca dreams of one day using her expertise as a climate scientist to shape government policy, something she says is desperately needed in today's political climate. Pun intended. Rebecca's bucket list is full of travel, and her next destinations include Mount Fuji, Yosemite, and Iceland.
My name is Michael John Pavlicek, and I go to Ossining High School in Ossining, New York.
When his lab closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Michael decided to pursue the bioinformatics component of his research, something he had to teach himself, as no one in his lab had any experience with the field. Michael hopes to study biomedical engineering in college.
My name is Timothy Tian. I go to Montgomery Blair High School, which is located in Silver Spring, Maryland.
In his spare time, Timothy enjoys playing tennis with friends and is also an accomplished violist. Timothy encourages young researchers to ask questions, especially when they're just getting started. There's no shame, he says, in admitting when you don't know something.
Hi, my name is Anushka Sanyal, and I go to Homestead High School in Cupertino, California.
Her first time speaking in public, Anushka says, to put it plainly, she stunk. She is now the president of speech and debate at her school. Though she hopes to be a physician, she loves to bake and wouldn't mind a career in professional food tasting.
Hi, my name is Alay Shah. I go to Plano West Senior High School in Plano, Texas.
Over the next 10 years, Alay wants to run his own company to create unprecedented technology in the healthcare space. His ultimate goals are reinventing the MRI and democratizing healthcare for those who need it most.
My name is Justin Shen. I go to Jericho Senior High School, which is located in Jericho, New York.
Justin enjoys stargazing at local observatories and solving complex linguistic puzzles. As a cellist, he has performed at Lincoln Center and Carnegie Hall. He is also the co-founder of COVIDcentral.org, which helps people across the nation find testing locations, food distribution centers, and more.
Hi, I'm Preet Sharif, and I go to Mills Garden High School in Richmond, Virginia.
Fareed admires the vision of researchers such as Dr. Fei-Fei Li, who have not only made advances in artificial intelligence, but worked to make it accessible. He also dreams of a career in computer science, and in the meantime, enjoys Quiz Bowl and playing chess.
We'll finish with one more group of finalists' introductions in just a moment. As a leader in the biotechnology industry, Regeneron invents life-transforming medicines for people in need and is on the front lines developing treatments for COVID-19, Ebola, cancer, and many other serious diseases. They are also deeply invested in fostering the next generation of STEM talent to continue this legacy of scientific impact. Regeneron is led by 2 alumni of the Science Talent Search, and tonight we are thrilled to hear from co-founder, president, and Chief Scientific Officer, Dr. George Yancopoulos.
It's great to be here to recognize this year's 40 incredible Science Talent Search finalists. In high school, I had the opportunity to do science research, just like the students we celebrate tonight. My project focused on regeneration, and it's not entirely coincidental that our company's name is Regeneron. I went on to be selected as one of the top winners in the 1976 Science Talent Search, and it's still one of my proudest achievements. Even before the events of last year, I believed that there was nothing more important than supporting top scientific talent. If there is one silver lining to the tragedies of the last 12 months, perhaps it's that it has elevated understanding that science is critical to our society. Tonight's 40 finalists have the great honor and privilege to use their considerable talents to tackle the existential threats that challenge mankind. This is something that I've been saying to finalists for years, but suddenly we've all been faced with an actual existential crisis that brought this idea into focus in a devastating way. There have been nearly 120 million cases of COVID-19 worldwide, and almost 2.6 million deaths, and the crisis is, sadly, still far from over. At Regeneron, we responded in the way that we do best, by creating the RegenCov antibody cocktail, a novel medicine specifically targeting the virus. Due to our proprietary technologies that we invented and built over 3 decades, we were able to complete this effort from invention to development to clinical trials in record time. Our RegenCov cocktail is a treatment for patients already infected, not a classic vaccine to prevent infection. The incredibly rapid delivery by the bioindustry of multiple vaccines is another innovation success, and these vaccines are already being used to help create herd immunity. But unfortunately, until that is achieved, many people are still getting infected, still getting sick, and still dying. And vaccines are too late for these people. That is why treatments such as our RegenCov antibody cocktail are so important to help these people. As of last November, RegenCov was authorized by the FDA to be available to help people with active COVID-19 infections from progressing to more severe disease and hospitalization. If used appropriately, RegenCov and similar related treatments can still be used to save many lives until widespread immunity is achieved. As with any crisis, there's a lot of talk about how we can avoid or better respond to future pandemics. That is absolutely a good conversation to have. But too often, when left to the policymakers, we see a tendency to apply today's solutions to tomorrow's problems. In fairness, this is because they only see what's in our toolbox today. So they assume that what we need are more or better hammers and screwdrivers. But this is a perfect example of when true innovation is required. Innovation is one of the most overused and misunderstood words of today. These days, it is used to describe everything from the latest clothing fashions to the newest emojis on your phone. True innovation to me is disruption with the potential to transform the status quo and improve human life. True innovation are ideas we have not even started to think about, but that will define the lives of our STS finalists' future children and grandchildren. I recently came across a story in the New York Times from the 1880s on the great public health crisis of the day. It was, to be blunt, a crisis of horse manure. By 1880, at least 150,000 horses lived in New York City. Each one generated over 20 pounds of manure a day. Manure carpeted every street and was piled up in big heaps along the sides, just as snow was a few weeks ago. Flies overran the city, the smell was unbearable, and public health experts highlighted the disease risk. Headlines in the Times and other newspapers warned that the future of cities was at risk, that maybe we should just abandon cities. Just as the crisis was reaching a pinnacle, something magical happened. The crisis was averted. How, you ask? Well, by 1912, automobiles in New York outnumbered horses, and electrification started a long period of investment in public transport and rail systems. Some of this innovation was led by the Ford Motor Company's Henry Ford, who is famously quoted as saying, "If I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said, faster horses." And this is what innovation does. It solves our problem not with just faster, more efficient manure carting systems or faster horses to get us to our destination more simply, but by radically reinventing the way human beings travel from place A to place B. True innovation harnesses the power of the human mind to improve our world and take us to places current generations can't even dream about. Unfortunately, I believe another serious infectious disease is a likelihood we can count on. I don't think the real solution is larger stockpiles of masks, vaccines, or even stockpiling our antibody medicines. These are not bad ideas, and some of them we should likely be implementing. But what will save us from this level of devastation in the future is true innovation. The two initial vaccines which were available here in the United States were based on mRNA technology that had never been used in a vaccine before. But scientists were quietly working on this technology for over a decade, so it was ready when we needed it. Similarly, the technologies we used to develop our RegenCov treatment were not available 10 or 20 years ago. We had to invent them, and then we were able to employ them. So the real solutions for future disease epidemics depend on our continuing to invent and create currently unimaginable and unavailable new technologies that will create the medicines of the future. I think this is also true of other existential threats, like climate change. I do not believe this serious threat will ultimately be solved by current well-meaning plans for switching to currently available clean energy sources such as solar and wind. They simply cannot deliver the amount of energy we will be needing going forward, and they have their own negative environmental consequences when used at large scale as well. Plans to simply use more solar is like those who thought that faster horses were the answer a century ago. So if not solar or wind, what's the answer? Well, I don't know, but I'm actually quite hopeful. That's because I believe in this generation's power to innovate. It's up to a bright young mind to imagine a totally new form of renewable energy that will truly address our future needs in a sustainable and less environmentally negative manner. A great new source of clean energy that no one else is even thinking about today. We need to understand that simply scaling today's available solutions rarely provide the true answers for the future, the answers that most of us cannot imagine today. And there is nothing more important than society and our leaders recognizing that engaging and inspiring the brightest young minds to imagine the unimaginable is the only way to get these truly innovative solutions that will allow us to overcome the existential threats facing humanity. When my business partner, Len Schleifer, and I started Regeneron, we had a clear vision to build a company driven by science and innovation. Today, Regeneron is the only large-cap public company in America that was founded by and still run by physician scientists. We use our homegrown technologies to discover and deliver life-transforming medicines that help people. With 10 FDA-approved or authorized medicines under our belt, we know we're only just getting started. And I believe our future medicines will be based on technologies we have yet to invent today. As I like to say, most people lose their edge, while our goal is to just keep pushing that edge further and further forward. All the STS finalists here today are poised to be the scientific heroes of tomorrow. You have the potential to find solutions to the existential threats we face today and the ones of tomorrow, whether it's disease, climate change, food insecurity, or maybe even an alien invasion. We're putting our future in your capable hands. Congratulations again to all the finalists here today. I also want to congratulate the parents, the mentors, teachers, and the whole team that supported each and every one of you. You all have a role in today's success, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the program. Enjoy it.
Thank you, George. And again, tremendous thanks to our sponsor, Regeneron, and their commitment to science education. It is clear that there is a unique bond formed among STS finalists each year, and these insights from several more of our program alumni illustrate just that. Eileen Jennings O'Brien, class of 1964, said, "After all these years, the distillate of my STS memories is not winning or losing, or the details of any of the experiments. What I remember is the energy of synchrony, the reverberation of the shared experience of getting ideas and doing something about it." From the class of 1962, Judith Gordy shared this: "The STS experience was instrumental in giving me the confidence I needed. As a half-Hispanic girl from Southern California, the only girl in my high school who belonged to the science club, it was empowering to meet other girls like me who were interested in science and being honored for their scientific talents." And Brandis Way from the class of 2015 relayed this simple truth: "STS gave me a community that I've gone back to a lot. It's so great to be able to stay in touch." Our thanks to these alumni for sharing their experiences. This year's young scientists are building that same community. Let's meet our final group now.
Hi, my name is Eleanor Sigrist, and I'm a senior at Forest Park High School and the Governor's School at Innovation Park in Woodridge, Virginia.
Eleanor has 4.2 hours of flight time, enjoys various fiber arts, and has played the violin for 13 years. She says her love of life makes it hard to choose just one favorite hobby. One more she hopes to explore during her lifetime: interplanetary travel.
My name is Edgar Sosa, and I went to Greenwich High School in Greenwich, Connecticut.
At age 12, Edgar saw the coffee farm he co-owned with his family in Guatemala destroyed by coffee rust. In moving to the United States, Edgar made it his goal to one day eradicate this fungus. Edgar hopes to study plant science and psychology.
My name is Claire Tang, and I go to Lindbergh High School in San Jose, California.
Claire assures younger students getting involved in science research that the longer you're stuck on a problem, the more excited you'll be when you solve it. She is excited to attend school for computer science and to one day obtain a PhD.
Hi, I'm Deja Taylor, and I go to Iowa City West High School in Iowa City, Iowa.
Deja decided to research cost-effective sutures after reading articles in Science News for Students about the expensive, complicated technology that aids in identifying wound infection. Deja describes herself as a total extrovert with 2 exclamation points and is co-chair of her district's Equity Advisory Committee.
Hi, my name is Catherine Tung, and I attend Menlo School in Atherton, California.
Catherine recalls being mesmerized by the Fibonacci sequence as a child. If it could link together such disparate phenomena as the branching of trees and a seashell's spiral, what other secrets about the world could math reveal? She now plans to major in mathematics.
My name is Parisa Vasiri, and I go to Plano East Senior High School in Plano, Texas.
Parisa's makeshift neuroscience lab, built in her bathroom during the pandemic, became a TikTok sensation and was featured in outlets such as NPR and NBC News. From this experience, she learned that science isn't about fancy equipment so much as rethinking old problems to reach new solutions.
Hi, I'm Vetri Bill, and I'm from Bangor High School in Bangor, Maine.
To relax, Vetri works on programming challenges on websites like Code Wars and enjoys building maps for use on Minecraft servers. He also likes to create abstract drawings. Vetri is eager to pursue his interests in applied physics and computer engineering in college next year.
Hi, my name is Jeffrey Wang. I'm from the Bishop School here in San Diego, California.
Jeffrey is a published poet and the founder of a historical community on the Q&A website Quora that has amassed over 125,000 followers. He is interested in the nexus between scientific research and the humanities and hopes for college coursework that is equally interdisciplinary.
My name is Justin Su, and I attend the Charter School of Wilmington in Wilmington, Delaware.
Justin served as an election officer during the November general election and has been encouraged by increasing youth involvement in politics. Justin is also a musician in the Philadelphia Youth Orchestra and is the founder of his school's 3D printing club.
I'm Vivian Yee, and I attend the International Academy in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan.
Vivian enjoys running, watercolor painting, and advocating for social justice. She is the co-founder of Helping Hands, a nonprofit that works to combat inequality and promote reform in education. Her dream job is serving as director of the WHO or the CDC.
My name is Lucy Jaw. I'm from the Wheatley School in Westbury, New York.
Lucy's first encounter with science was on the rice paddies of her uncle's farm in China, where she learned to view the earth not as an object, but as a living thing. Now a gardener herself, Lucy plans to study environmental science.
Hi, my name is Jason Zhang. I attend the Carol Martin Gatton Academy of Mathematics and Sciences in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Jason loves going on adventures with his Boy Scout troop, from camping to canoeing, and credits scouting with helping him gain confidence in himself. Jason is the founder of his school's biology club and a member of the Bowling Green Youth Orchestra, where he plays clarinet.
My name is Jessica Zhang, and I go to prep school in San Francisco, California.
Jessica is a big reader and especially enjoys the classics. She dreams of being a mathematician, but whatever her future career, Jessica hopes to pursue the magic she felt when her research was at its most insightful, thanks to a blend of creativity and resilience.
Hi, I'm Amy Zhao from Clemens High School in Sugar Land, Texas.
A few items on Amy's bucket list are seeing firefly squid, building a treehouse, and becoming a professor. When asked which tools are needed to get started in scientific research, Amy says it all comes down to passion and a desire to learn.
What an exciting and inspiring group. Huge congratulations to the 2021 class of the Regeneron Science Talent Search. It's an annual tradition during STS to name a class speaker, a recognition named in honor of nuclear chemist Dr. Glenn T. Seaborg. Among his many achievements, Dr. Seaborg was a Nobel laureate, an advisor to several US presidents, and discoverer of 10 atomic elements. In fact, one of those elements, Seaborgium, bears his name. He also served on the Society's Board of Trustees for 30 years, extending his desire to uphold the public's understanding of science and education. In this capacity, Dr. Seaborg was a mentor and inspiration to more than 1,000 STS finalists. To honor his legacy each year, the 40 finalists choose one voice among them who best exemplifies their class, an extraordinary attribute of Dr. Seaborg, to inspire a passion for science in others. The winner of the 2021 Glenn T. Seaborg Award is, from West High School in Iowa City, Iowa, Deja T. Taylor. Let's hear from Deja now.
We finally did it. We made it to the award ceremony. Now, I want you to all take a second to remind yourselves that no matter what happens tonight, you should be proud of what you've accomplished. Even in a normal year, becoming a Science Talent Search finalist is not an easy feat. But all 40 of us have become finalists in the middle of a pandemic. Speaking of pandemics, I think the New York Times summed it up perfectly, saying, being a teenager in the United States during the pandemic was lonely, disorienting, depressing, and suffocating, end quote. And when I heard that, I said, yeah, that sounds about right. However, when I thought about it a little more, I realized how many relationships I've formed over the past week. To everyone watching tonight, you'd be surprised how fast you can make friends when you discuss your traumatic judging experiences. As my new good friend Rebecca says, trauma bonding is the best bonding. From show and tell time to Instagram group chats, we've turned this opportunity into a springboard for our future endeavors. We are already changing the world in various areas of STEM, so just imagine what we're going to do when the world opens up. I have no doubt in my mind that our future is bright, with Vivian working on a database that predicts vulnerable communities that will be impacted by pandemics and epidemics, and with Lalitia, who created a way to detect microbial contamination in water through the analyzation of microscopic images. And with myself, with my color-changing stitches, which will help decrease the disproportionality of surgical site infections in developing countries. As we move forward with our ceremony tonight, I want to take a moment to wish you all the best of luck as you continue your research and with tonight's award ceremony. Finally, on behalf of the class of 2021, thank you to Regeneron and the Society for Science for hosting the Science Talent Search in the midst of a pandemic. We are incredibly grateful to have the opportunity to showcase our brilliance. Even though we were forced to have this experience at home, the Regeneron and Society for Science teams have done a phenomenal job trying to ensure that our at-home experience would be as exciting as the in-person experience. So, with all of that, thank you again from the class of 2021.
Thank you, Deja, and congratulations on behalf of Regeneron and Society for Science. Like Deja, each of our finalists has expressed their gratitude to those who have helped them achieve success. On their behalf, I'd like to take this moment to recognize the teachers, mentors, research advisors, friends, extended family, and of course, the parents who have supported and encouraged these exceptional students. Our many thanks to you all. Now, it goes without saying that the Regeneron Science Talent Search is a demanding competition. From the initial group of entrants, qualified applications were reviewed by a panel of evaluators. 300 scholars were then selected based on their exceptional research skills, commitment to academics, and promise as a scientist. Those selected and their schools each received $2,000. In total, $600,000 was distributed to schools across the country this year to support STEM education. From those 300 scholars, the prestigious Final 40 here tonight were celebrated and selected by our esteemed judging panel for the scientific rigor and world-changing potential of their research. Each has been awarded $25,000. During the competition, finalists presented their research to this judging panel and participated in rigorous interviews designed to evaluate overall knowledge of science, problem solving, and innovative thinking. In addition to the judging process, it has been an action-packed week of activities for our finalists. We like to give you a glimpse of what they've been up to. Let's take a look.
Wow, you're here. You made it. This is it.
If you feel like you're missing out by not having that trip to DC, well, you really aren't.
This has never been attempted before in all of STS.
Hi, Kelly. How you doing?
Glad to know I have some camaraderie here.
Everybody grab your pet. Or your pet, the camera. You're going to be talking to some really great leaders.
Every time we talk to you guys, it just gets us excited and reminds us why we got into science in the first place.
You have talent, you work hard, and we have to add a third item to our list: luck.
It seems really complicated, but mug cakes are all about convenience and ease.
Guys, look at that.
Virtual high five, 3, 2, 1.
Teams are built best while solving complex problems together, so these are going to be some pretty challenging problems for you to be solving as teams.
Okay, I think I got it. It would be like Jack Rabbit and Queen Bee. So it's a deck. Yeah.
Okay, if we could be the CEO of any company we want, what would we be?
I would choose Regeneron.
Yes. And so these sides should come in like this.
That's
crazy.
Here's our special guest, everyone.
Oh my goodness. Oh wait, that's actually pretty cool.
Dive, run, dive.
We have had 13 alumni win the Nobel Prize. I'm so honored to have 4 of those alumni with us today.
In many ways, the hardest part of being a scientist is not solving particular problems, but deciding which problems to take on.
I went into neuroscience. It was what interested me. It was what excited me.
Enjoy what you're doing. Finding something that you really love, that's such a wonderful foundation.
Just show up for the things you care about and, just take every day in stride.
And from a very young age, I knew I liked to be hands-on. I like to design and engineer things.
How's everyone doing?
We look forward to hopefully some of you coming to campus. We'll give you some tours into our facilities and talk to you some more.
Oh my gosh, this is so incredible.
Wow.
So great work to everyone. You all did incredible on this room.
Oh, these paintings are looking great. You did everything right. Good.
Huge congratulations for getting to this point.
You have worked so extraordinarily hard to be here.
Okay, guys, smile.
Oh.
I do have a piece of advice for the young people, and that is, you are faced with all kinds of existential decisions. Where to go to college, what courses to take. Just have some faith in yourself.
Big round of applause.
What a memorable week. And now, for the moment we've all been anticipating, here to share the results of this week's competition is chair of the STS judging panel, Dr. Sudarshan Chawate from the University of Maine.
Good evening. First, I'd like to thank our judging panel who rose to the challenge of meeting virtually, dedicating their time and resources to ensure tonight's finalists had an extensive adjudication. They are Vice Chair Dr. Jason Valentine, Vanderbilt University, Dr. Kathleen Boggs, NASA, Dr. Irene Chen, 1995 STS alumnus, University of California, Los Angeles, Dr. Jacinta Conrad, 1995 STS alumnus, University of Houston, Dr. Kalina Craig Henderson, National Science Foundation, Dr. Shomit Dashgupta, 1995 STS alumnus, Duke University, Dr. Martha Davila Garcia, Howard University College of Medicine, Dr. Timothy Downing, University of California, Irvine, Dr. Yona Erlbacher, 1987 STS alumnus, Johns Hopkins University, Dr. Jennifer Kalish, 1994 STS alumnus, University of Pennsylvania, Dr. Ruth Kelty, NOAA, Dr. Jesse Margiotta, Mach 20, Dr. Caroline Euler, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Dr. Christine Willett, 1989 STS alumnus, University of Mississippi, and Dr. Melanie Matchett Wood, Harvard University. We too would like to thank all those who have nurtured tonight's finalists and helped them achieve so much so early in their careers. it is now my honor to announce the top 10 winners of the 2021 Regeneron Science Talent Search. The 10th place winner and the recipient of a $40,000 award from Liberal Arts and Science Academy in Austin, Texas, Sam Christian. The 9th place winner and the recipient of a $50,000 award from International Academy in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, Vivian Yee. The 8th place winner and the recipient of a $60,000 award from Jesuit High School in Portland, Oregon, Wenjin Ho. The 7th place winner and the recipient of a $70,000 award from Plano West Senior High School in Plano, Texas, Alay Shah. The 6th place winner and the recipient of a $80,000 award from Bangor High School in Bangor, Maine, Vetri Vail. The 5th place winner and the recipient of a $90,000 award from Montgomery Blair High School in Silver Spring, Maryland, Timothy Chunglei Tian. The 4th place winner and the recipient of a $100,000 award from Krishna Home School in Portland, Oregon, Gopal Krishna Goyal. The 3rd place winner and the recipient of a $150,000 award from Lynbrook High School in San Jose, California, Ishani Jha. The 2nd place winner and the recipient of a $175,000 award from Bronx High School of Science in Bronx, New York, Noah Benjamin Getz. And the 1st place winner and the recipient of a $250,000 award from Phillips Exeter Academy in Exeter, New Hampshire, Yoon-So Choi.
Congratulations to our Regeneron Science Talent Search winners. Now everyone grab your confetti and let's celebrate. On behalf of Society for Science and Regeneron, thank you again for joining us for this evening's broadcast. If you will be an incoming high school senior and are inspired by this group, learn more about Regeneron STS on the Society's website. Next year's application, official rules and eligibility guidelines will be available on June 1st, 2021. I want to congratulate all of our Regeneron STS finalists and thank each of you for inspiring me. I wish you the best in your future endeavors. Thank you so much and good night.